Well, I'm just getting ready to sponge this floor down and blend it all in. But before I do that, I just wanted to show you how I get in and out of this room because this stuff gets everywhere. I'm trying to set this up in the right place. Okay. Because you don't want to traipse this around. I've already done the hallway and I just have some sacks here, so anytime I go in and out of this room, I just step into these sacks with my feet and shuffle away. Like that. And then I don't want to shuffle in because I don't want to get this stain on the bottom of the sack. So I just come here and step out of them, and now I can work in this room. Okay? Because if I start walking out here, I get it all on my shoes and then I'm going to track it out into the different rooms. Okay, there's a tip for you. Okay, you're going to have to bear with me here because I might kind of be in the way for the very first part of this, but you'll get the idea of it. I'm starting over here in the right-hand corner, and I'm going to move to the left, get my stuff situated up here, because once I get going, my hands are all greasy. If I had somebody here to help me move the camera, it would be a little easier to get going. Okay? But right now, I could stain it almost the way it is, or seal it, you know, and just blend in a little bit. But when I talked to the owner, she wanted it a little bit lighter than that. Okay, so I'm going to take my cleaner and I'm going to spray some on. And that's going to activate the top layer of glue. I try to put it on a little bit thicker around the edges because the edge, remember, it was kind of painted. And so now I've got to work out some of that, and I might get this sponge up against the base a little bit. If I do, I'll show you what I do with that. Okay, right now I'm just kind of getting this area worked in so I can figure out how much of it I want to take off. Okay, I can rub on here. Wipe that up close. Now see, I've got some on the base, and I know that's about what I want along the wall, along the edge, so I'm going to take off a little bit here. Okay, now at this point, before I go any further, I've got to take that off the base. And see, when I clean it off, nothing's happening. So I take my brush, and that kind of activates the top bit. I could do this after the fact, but the longer you leave this stain on here, the worse off it's going to get. But I'm going to have to make a decision here. Is it going to take too much of my stain off around the edge? Okay, and I think if I just kind of leave that, it's probably going to be fine. I don't want to take too much of the stain off around the side, you know. And now, if you think that's taking off too much, let's say, then maybe we'll leave it. We'll leave it alone. I think we may have to leave it alone because see, when it dries, it looks like it's taking too much off of the concrete right up against the edge where it didn't have any mastic from before. And I don't want to have to mess with that going all the way around this. Okay, so my idea here, my first go was no good, was it? I guess what I'll have to do is remember that, because see, you can see where the stain's already come off the edge over here, hasn't it? It came off too much. See when I wipe that off? It's concrete up to the edge of the wall. And so I can take this and squeeze it, and I'm getting some of the old back on here, okay? Like that. And it looks like I may have to let that set just a little bit for it to dry. I might have to come back to this little section right here, huh? Okay, I'm gonna rinse this out because I'm getting too much water in it. I'm gonna just keep running the camera here, and I'm gonna leave that little section right there. I probably should have started back further, because see, now I gotta kind of let that dry right there, because if I wipe this off, I might wipe off too much, and it's gonna be hard to blend in, see? Okay, so what I may have to do is start over here to the left a little bit further, and then I'm going to have to come back and blend this in. Really don't want to do that though. Shoot. What to do? Should I let it set? Should I let it set here for a while and get dry? Or should I just come in here and go as clean as I can and try to get off some of this excess? I think maybe I'll just do that for the sake of time and argument. And whatever I get on the base, I'm not going to worry about, okay? Because what can happen is, once this floor dries, once all the stain dries, then I can come back and I'll have to spray that off. Then it's not going to affect the stain on the floor, because it's going to be dry. Okay. So I'm going to rinse this sponge off one more time. And see, I have two sponges here. This one here happened to have a lot of stuff on it. Okay, this one's a little bit drier, and so I think I could use this one and see what I can do. Just gonna go back and forth. I want to get a happy medium. She didn't want it too dark, but yet I don't want to get it so light that it takes all the color off of here, okay? Let's see, don't worry about the baseboard right now. Just look at the overall color that I'm blending in, you see? And I'm kind of flapping it back and forth, and I'm not leaving any marks, am I? Okay? Had I used this one was kind of wet. And so had I used that too much, I can't get all of the lines out of it. Okay, so I'm gonna try to move this over here, right there. I'm gonna keep the camera rolling. I kind of like this right in here. So I've got my darkish sponge. I'm going to wipe on here a little bit first with that one. And this stain, this seal, well, the stain, it's not actually stain. I removed some mastic, and I just did it the other day, okay, so it's still workable. I don't know how long you can work a floor after you remove the black mastic on there. I wouldn't want to wait a week or something, then come back to it. Okay, wouldn't want to do that, I don't think. You see how this, no matter what I do with this sponge, it's going to leave lines, I believe, if I'm not careful. Okay, so now I'm just going to try to go up next to the edge. And the edge doesn't have to be exactly perfect. Okay, you've got imperfections, you got a little bit of the white down here from before, you've got these other parts where there was tack strip down here. Now I've got my other sponge. You see how some of that is going away. This is a little bit drier one and it's a little bit cleaner. Okay, see how I'm getting a little bit of yellow in through the floor. I'm kind of liking that. Liking that a lot. That's bringing out some of the look. Now I'm going to go back to this corner a little bit, just to wipe on it a little and see if I can't get a little bit more lighter area. I'm just going to rub on it a little bit more. Okay, that's just taking off a little bit. That's it. I've got high and low imperfections on here. I'm liking this. Okay, that's pretty much how I want the floor to look. Okay, so just gonna come over here. I'm trying to lift this camcorder up just with my arm on the tripod so I don't get anything on it. So that's why it's a little wobbly. Okay, I'm just here by myself and I'm just taking my time. Okay, this is where a tile was here, 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 and here. And I scrubbed on there, I took off as much as I could. And when I get done with this floor, I could go back over it after everything's dry and see if I can't take some more of that off. But I think it's just how the floor kind of reacted in this one area. I don't know why exactly. Okay, I'm just going to press down as tight as I can, and I can kind of use the fingers of my glove and kind of push the back a little bit so I can get right in there tight with my tip of my finger and maybe kind of blend in some of the dark area. Okay. That's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.